Tools are only as good as the technician using them. You can give a poor technician great tools, and you can give a great technician poor tools. The poor technician that has the great tools will still not know how to build anything. Why? Because he doesn't know how to use the tools that have been given to him. But if you give an expert technician subpar tools, he's still going to be able to build something amazing. Why? Because he understands how to use the tools that were given to him. Take this final opportunity to share this call out with somebody else that you want to see grow, somebody else that you want to see win. I see the Empress is here in the building with us. What's up, sis? Mr. Winningham joined us. Okay. Mr. Michael is here with us. In addition, we got so many other amazing people on Zoom. Diamond is here with us, GJ, Nick. I know Facebook, Instagram, we're all watching from different places, guys. The best thing that I can tell you, number one, can I ask each and every single one of you to just partner with me? What do I mean, partner with me? Partner with me and take this message and share it. Push the share button if you're on Facebook, right? Take the link, copy and paste it, send it to somebody that you work with. Send it to somebody that you want to see grow. The call is completely free. It's not company specific. It's not product specific. This is a call specifically to help each and every single one of you learn and grow with no strings attached. And so I'm excited. Obviously, the call is called AOTK. Some of you guys are like, man, what does that mean? AOTK, what does that stand for? AOTK simply stands for Ambassadors of the Kingdom. Why? Because the goal above all else is to show people that if you practice God's principles, you can participate in his promises. Okay, that's what we believe. That's what we're excited about. The message never changes. Type in AOTK in the chat if you can get excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. Today's not going to be a long one. You guys know my style is typically to be effective without being eternal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into some information that I truly believe can change the trajectory of your path and career as an entrepreneur. Okay, I believe God wants some creators, some entrepreneurs, some business people. You guys can see it here. The title for today, if you're taking notes, the focus for today is the ultimate advantage. Okay, the ultimate advantage as an entrepreneur. Right? So if you're taking notes, just write that down. It's the ultimate advantage, come on, as an entrepreneur. So I'm going to go ahead and get into what that means. But if you're watching the recording on YouTube, please hit the like button. When you do that, it lets YouTube know something's going on here. Let's push this out to more people. Drop a comment, share it, subscribe, and let's grow. Okay, there's also a Discord server. You guys can join us in the bio of the Instagram page. But let's talk about the ultimate advantage. So number one, I'm just going to give it straight to you for those of you that are writing it down. And I'm going to switch back and forth between the slides and, of course, just talking to you. But the ultimate advantage as an entrepreneur is to listen, right? To listen to locate, and leverage our spiritual intelligence. Okay? The ultimate advantage as an entrepreneur is to listen to locate, and to leverage our spiritual intelligence, our spiritual instincts. Right? They're the critical success factor. I will tell you in my time as an entrepreneur, one of the biggest things that I've learned is it's not all physical. It's not all how-tos. It's not all scripts. It's not always what to say. Right? But it's the spiritual intelligence, it's the spiritual awareness as an entrepreneur. I'm going to break down what that means. I'm going to break down what I'm talking about. Okay, stick with me. But how many of you guys have read some of the success classics, or maybe you've tuned into, some of the popular content for entrepreneurs, whether that be the Think and Grow Riches, the Power of Positive Thinking, the success classics, the books and the audios that everyone listens to. Let me tell you something that I have learned. Let me tell you something that I have really seen and observed. Guys, I tell people that Bible really just stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. All of the answers, they're there, okay, clearly through patterns, precepts, okay, principles, everything is there. Let me explain to you. The success classics, are really just theology mixed with psychology to create a philosophy, right? So the power of positive thinking is really just a book on prayer. Think and Grow Rich is really just a book about faith, right? So God and the Bible have always given the philosophy of success. And I'm going to tell you why this is important, right? As we progress through the call. But the reason why I'm reading the book or I'm listening to the audio or I hear the principle and I like it is because it has a theological foundation, right? So the information has always been there. There was no shortage of information. It's just the way that it's being presented to you. But again, okay, most of the success classics are really just theology mixed with psychology to create a success philosophy. So write this down. There's really 3 parts to every single person, okay? To you, to me, to anyone else, there's really only 3 parts of a person, okay? And I'm going to break down what those are, right? Starting with, of course, the body, okay? The body, ladies and gentlemen, is really the 5 senses that connect us to the physical reality, right? Our 5 senses are what connects us to the world around us, but really we're not physical beings having spiritual experiences. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're spiritual beings that are having a physical experience, but our 5 senses, right, are part of the trichotomy of our being, right? So we, in order to experience something in the world, we have to see it, we have to hear it, we have to smell it, we have to taste it. That's how we experience the world around us, right? So that's part 1, is the physical part of us as men, women. Then you have the soul, which is really the mind. It's our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Some of you guys said, what is the difference? I've heard about that before, but what is the real difference between the conscious mind and our subconscious mind? Well, the soul, the mind, ladies and gentlemen, that's us thinking about something. We can think thoughts. We can think about the fact that we're thinking, right? We can think, oh, I want to be intentional about this that I want to do today. We can think about, what our vision is for the future, what we want to accomplish for our life. And then we have the subconscious mind, which is our thought storage system. This is where the real battle is. And let me explain this to you so that you guys can actually understand it and leverage it to get to where you want to go in business. Don't forget, we're talking about the ultimate advantage as an entrepreneur. Okay? Our subconscious mind is where the real battle is. Why? Because it's a collection of our experiences. It's a collection of what we've been through. It's a collection of what our environment has been. And we're not necessarily trying to think, right, or act in the way that our subconscious mind influences us. It's just who we become as a collection of experiences. And so we've experienced things that weren't always positive. We've experienced things that weren't always productive. Some of those things, were toxic. Some of those things traumatized us, but that's the subconscious mind. So typically a bad memory is simply a poor method of recalling. Right? So if you understood your subconscious mind and how to use it, guess what? You can recall anything in any type of way. So we went over the body, we went over the mind, and then third, and most important, is the spirit. Genesis 1:26 says, then God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. The spirit, ladies and gentlemen, was made by God, from God, and for God. It's the most powerful part of us. It's the part of us that connects us to God, because it's not the body and it's not our mind. It's the spirit. The spirit can't be detected within our biology. The spirit can't be detected via our body. The spirit, ladies and gentlemen, is the part of us that connects us to God. So let me explain, because how many guys can be excited about being created in God's image and likeness? That gets me fired up and that gets me excited. Why? Let me explain to you, write it down. Because this means that there's a part of me that fears nothing. Why? Because God didn't give us a spirit of fear, and God fears nothing. This means that there's a part of me that is resilient. This means that there's a part of me that will look at a problem and call it an opportunity. Right? This means there's a part of me that's reframing my experience in ways that benefit me. Let me explain what that means. A lot of us, we go through things happen to us. And, on the other side of the token, our human experience, our human emotions, our human instincts, we look at a problem and we say, oh man, I should stop. Oh man, well, maybe I shouldn't go in this direction. Maybe I can't, make this happen in my business, make this happen in my life, whatever. But one thing I learned, ladies and gentlemen, is that just because there's a bump in the road doesn't mean you get out the car. Okay. So what I get excited about is that if I was made in God's image and likeness, if I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, that means that it was already pre-installed in me what I needed to have success. Let me explain. You don't need to create motivation. You don't need to create a vision, but rather locate the desire in the vision that was already pre-installed in your spiritual essence. If you were made in God's image and likeness. Okay. Let me move further to say entrepreneurial instincts. Guys, what's the difference between those who win and fail in business? Hear me and listen closely, because there's a difference. There's those who win and then there's those who fail. Vaughn, I see you. Jesse Harris, I see you. Mike Fortune, I see you. Okay. There's a difference between those who win and fail in business. Let me express this to you. Okay. The difference between those who win and fail in business is their entrepreneurial instincts, the manifestation of spiritual intelligence. Yes, your spiritual intelligence produces your entrepreneurial instincts, right? And don't get me wrong. Trust me, stick with me. I'm going to break this down and help you understand why and how. But the tools, ladies and gentlemen, if we all have the DNA that God gave us. And what do I mean, the DNA? Not your biological DNA, but your spiritual DNA that makes you in the image and likeness of God. If we all have that, let me explain something. That means that we all have the tools. Write this down. All I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. One of the biggest things that'll try to stop you from having success in life and business is you believing that you're not equipped, is you believing that you don't have what you need, is you believing that there's something that he has on stage, that she has on stage that you don't have. That's not true. Everything you need, you already have it. But let me explain something to you. Tools, ladies and gentlemen, are only as good as the technician using them. Let me break that down again slowly. Tools are only as good as the technician using them. You can give a poor technician great tools, and you can give a great technician poor tools. Let me explain something. The poor technician that has the great tools will still not know how to build anything, will still not know how to construct anything. Why? Because he doesn't know how to use the tools that have been given to him. But if you give an expert technician subpar tools, he's still going to be able to build something amazing. He's still going to be able to create what he needs to create. Why? Because he understands how to use the tools that were given to him. Many of us have entrepreneurial instincts. Our spiritual lessons will guide us and take us to where we need to be in business as entrepreneurs. But the tools that we have, they're only as good as the technician that uses them. So that's awareness. But let me tell you something moving forward. How many guys want to know God's success formula? See Jennifer tapped in, Zach Mo tapped in, Anthony Mitchell tapped in, Preston tapped in, Josh J in the building. God's success formula, and you guys can look at it here, but I'm going to just break it down to you. I'm going to break it down to you. You guys can see it here. Let's go to James 1:8. James 1:8 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Let me say that again slowly. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Guys, God knows how to scale your business. God knows how to guide you in the right direction. I love the word that says, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. So you should genuinely believe that everything is working together for your good. And if you think I'm just talking on this call, guys, this is literally my foundational principles of which I have built my life, of which I have literally navigated through all of the challenges, because I promise you, there's going to be some challenges, bigger adversities probably than you can imagine. But if you know, right, that God is all knowing, if you know that he has the ability to take you where you need to go, if you know that you can ask for any amount of wisdom, that should excite you. If that excites you, type of AOTK in the chat box. Guys, that means that if you have a problem, there's a solution. That means if you have a question, there's an answer. That means if you need help, there's support. Let me explain why this is so important, right? Because a lot of people don't really get it and don't really understand. Guys, if I believe that I'm the God of my life, if I believe that I'm the, person who's supposed to take care of everything and everything is in my hands, do you understand that I am limiting myself because I'm only human? I'm not that good. I'm not that powerful, right? I'm only one man. I'm only one human. But if I believe that there's a higher power, guess what? It allows me to navigate through my day, through my journey, through my life with the sense of peace, with the sense of power, with the sense of confidence. But James, the next scripture in James, it says, but when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. Let me explain what that, let me explain what that word just said. Remember, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, not doubt, not doubt. Somebody type not doubt in the chat. Why do I get excited about not doubt? And why is it important to understand and know not doubt? But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Guys, that means that the infinite wisdom that you can have access to, the infinite wisdom that is available to you, will be cut off and denied if you doubt. Right? So it says very clearly and very plainly that you must not doubt. Let me explain something. Have you ever considered that the reason you're sinking is because of your thinking? Follow me and don't miss what I'm saying. The same water, okay? The same water, ladies and gentlemen, that the boiling water that softens the potato is the same boiling water that hardens the egg. So in other words, it's not about what's going on around you. It's not about the temperature of what you're going through. It's not about what you're experiencing and what's not working and how hard that it is. It's not what's going on around you. It's what you're made of. Does that make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat. Okay. Does that make sense? Right? So the access to infinite intelligence is granted of the person who is congruent. This is the access, okay, to infinite intelligence is granted to the person who is congruent with their conscious and subconscious belief. Follow me, because I'm going to show you something. Follow me, hear me. We say that we believe, right? So you say that, oh man, I believe that, I believe that this is my season. I believe that this is my year. I believe that this is my time. I believe this is the best business in the world. I believe this is the best product in the world. I believe this is the best opportunity in the world. Right? How many guys have heard these things said? How many guys have said these things yourself? Type a 777, type a yes in the chat. Have you said these things? Right? I've got the best opportunity in the world. Let me explain something to you. Your conscious mind versus your subconscious mind. Okay? Let me break this down to you. Your belief level, ladies and gentlemen, is revealed by your words on a conscious level. Your conscious mind is revealed by your words. So it's you thinking consciously. It's like what you want in a sense. It's what you're saying, but your actions, ladies and gentlemen, reveal your subconscious belief. Your words reveal your conscious belief, but your actions reveal your subconscious belief. You know, I want to give a shout out. You know, there's some young men on this call. I was traveling to an event I came from Sacramento, went to Fort Lauderdale, and I went to this event. And it was a last minute thing. I really wasn't even, planning to go to the event, but, series of events became very important that I show up to the event and be at the event. Cool. Went to the event. And these fellas found out within 24 hours, 48 hours, that I was going to be at the event, right? That there were going to be 6-figure earners in a room, 7-figure earners in a room, brand new, right? Never succeeded at a high level in business before. But they said, you know what? I'm going to be there. One individual drove 26 hours, I believe it was, to be at this event. 26 hours he drove by himself with no one else in the car. Right? They came together, they rented the Airbnb, they showed up to the event. They haven't even been exposed to myself, this network, for longer than a month. Right? But let me explain to you why that's important, ladies and gentlemen, because your belief is revealed by your actions. It's not revealed by what it is that you say. Because you can say, I believe, you can say I'm fired up, you can say, oh, it's I'm gonna be the next such and so. You can say all of that, but that's only your conscious belief. Your actions, ladies and gentlemen, reveal your subconscious belief. Let me express something to you. Why is it important to know the difference between your subconscious belief and your conscious belief? Well, because I told you, the word says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So what does that mean to be double-minded? I used to think it was somebody who would constantly change their mind. But a double-minded man is really just a man who believes one thing consciously and another subconsciously. And let me take you back to what the word says. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. It says, you must not doubt. You must believe and not doubt. If you want access to the unlimited wisdom, if you want access to all that you need, every single answer, every single piece of understanding, but you can't doubt. That's the trick. That's the key. Okay. How many guys are picking up what I'm picking down? Is it sounding good? Type of AOTK in the chat. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to go over, ladies and gentlemen, just kind of going back to belief. I know many of us, right? Many of us entrepreneurs on this call, business people, we've got people from different backgrounds, people from different companies representing different products and services. So I'm going to keep this very, very general, but I do want you to be very aware of what it is that I'm saying and relate it back to you, whatever that means to you. Guys, how much do you believe? Okay. How much do you believe? And I'll show you this slide. I know there's a couple on here that I have not shown you. How much do you believe? And I'm going to leave you guys with this morning. Okay. I'm going to give you 6 things to rate yourself on in terms of belief. How much do you believe in the company that you're building, or the company that you're a part of, or the company that you work for? Right? You're an entrepreneur, you're building something, you want to get to a certain place, you're trying to create a certain kind of a life for yourself. How much do you believe in the company? It's okay if it's not a 10, right? But it needs to be 1 out of 10. How much do you believe in the company? Write that down to yourself. How much do you believe in it? Do you believe it's a solid company? Do you believe in the longevity of the company? Do you believe that it's a reputable, credible company? How much do you believe in the company? That's number 1, scale of 1 through 10. Number 2, how much do you believe in the product or the service? Let me explain to you something. Please don't miss what I'm telling you. Guys, not all products and services are good products and services. Not everything that is to be offered, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean you should sell it, doesn't mean that you should promote it, doesn't mean that you should represent it. Maybe someone else should, but maybe it's not for you. Why? Because you just don't have a belief there. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in the products and services that you offer? If there's a dip anywhere and it's not a 10, you need to investigate. You need to go and do your research, get the questions that you need answered. Number 3, compensation. Do you have a belief on a scale of 1 to 10? What is it? In your ability to get paid, right? You can't have $1 million dreams in a minimum wage vehicle. So whatever you're building, what you're partaking in, what is your belief level on a scale of 1 through 10? Okay, about the compensation, regarding the compensation. Number 4, the business model. What is the model of business that you're partaking in? What is it? Do you believe in it? Do you know it? Do you understand it? If you don't have belief in your business model, there you go. What did we just talk about? We talked about a lack of congruency between what you're saying and what you're doing, between your conscious belief and your subconscious belief. And the word says that you must believe and not doubt, okay, in order to receive the infinite wisdom. Okay. 5, leadership and support. On a scale of 1 through 10, I'm not going to make this a call about mentorship, but you know I could. You know what I tell you, mentorship is wisdom without waiting. Mentorship is wisdom without the wounds. Okay, everything rises and falls on leadership. You've got to have the proper leadership, got to have the proper support. What is your belief level in your leadership and support team? Scale of 1 through 10. And then last but not least, this is the biggest one. I don't know if it's the biggest one, but it might just be the biggest one. And it's, how do you see yourself as a leader? Guys, let me tell you something, and I'll leave you with this. How you see you is how everybody else is going to see you. And wherever you go, there you still are. So you can say it with your mouth that I'm ready for the next level. You can say it with your mouth, this is my time, this is my season. But when you go home at night and when you lie in bed and it's just you, do you see yourself as the leader that you need to be to lead people to where they want to go, to where they need to go, to lead the corporation, to lead the business, to lead the people? Do you see yourself as that person? And can I give you some words of encouragement? Even if you don't see yourself like that yet, let me tell you something. You listen to calls like this. You get in environments with people who are going where you want to go and people who are where you want to be. You continuously feed your mind this type of information. Okay. You find the correct mentor and coach. And I tell you what, that thing's going to start to change. The way you see yourself is going to start to change. And the way other people in turn see you is, in addition, going to start to change. How much do you believe on a scale of 1 through 10 in the company, the products, the compensation, business model, leadership and support, and how you see yourself as a leader? Okay. And let me tell you something. What is the ultimate advantage as an entrepreneur? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I told you that it's your ability to listen to, locate, and to leverage our spiritual intelligence. Where do our entrepreneurial instincts come from? Well, it's the manifestation, okay, of our spiritual intelligence. Okay, going back to James chapter 1, verse 8. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. God has the answer to your problem. Okay, he knows how to scale your business. Next scripture. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. The word says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. What is a double-minded man? Somebody that says one thing with their mouth and does another thing with their actions. Your belief level, ladies and gentlemen, is rooted in your actions. Your words reveal your conscious belief, and your actions reveal your subconscious belief. If you heard what I said today, and you're going to take it and you're going to apply it instantly, okay? If you understand the ultimate advantage that you have, right? If this made good sense, type of AOTK in the chat. You guys know I enjoy being here every single Saturday. The replay will be posted shortly to YouTube. It is midway through March. Let's close out the month strong. And let's have a productive day, man. Again, you guys can subscribe on the YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date with us. If you get value from these types of webinars, share it with other people. Guys, there's like, I don't know, but it's dozens of episodes that are uploaded already. You can go back and watch them, go back and study them, go back and get the weeks that you missed. And y'all know that I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. See you on the next one.